Hey, it's Chris, and today we're going to be talking about the brand new Beats Pill, and I've got not just one to check out, but two. We're going to be pairing these together and seeing what kind of special features happen, because as it turns out, there's some magic that happens when you get two of these going at the same time. Let's talk a little bit about what makes these cool in the first place. Number one, we got a new racetrack woofer living inside the right side of this speaker. And then we've got a single dedicated tweeter over on the left. Now, I've already been testing these out for a little bit, and you know from the second you turn it on and it rumbles to life that you're about to enjoy this. Now, you know how this goes. This is video and it's hard to convey how things actually sound in real life, but I'm gonna get you a little audio sample here so you can kind of see, at least get a feel somewhat for how this sounds. All right, now that's just with the single one of these connected, but we can actually pair these up together to amplify the sound, just straight up make it louder, or to stereo pair. We're gonna talk more about that later. But first, let me turn this other one on so that we can at least hear what that amplification sounds like. So you could probably tell the second that they paired and I was getting hit with extra sound. The way that you pair them is just hold down that center button at the same time, and then the light's gonna blink blue on each of these, and then they'll sync up. So the way that I would describe the sound on this is that the bass is not overpowering. There's still that perception out there that beats equals bass and nothing else. That's not true. It's very balanced. The bass here I've found doesn't even distort, even at very loud volume. It also doesn't wash away your mids and your highs. And actually the tweeter makes everything very clear. There's no distortion there as well. So nothing is muddy. Everything honestly just sounds very enjoyable from top to bottom. I've actually felt like this sounds so good, I would use it as a non-portable speaker, just in the studio, just in the office, maybe not around the whole house. As this compares to a HomePod, I mean, HomePods do have certain conveniences. Definitely sounds way better than the smaller mini HomePod. But of course, one of the main things here is that it's portable, so you can load this up in a backpack or just grab it by the lanyard and take it with you wherever you're going. So in that regard, this has something that no HomePod has, that portability without any kind of weird workarounds. So for instance, I got my favorite backpack here from Peak Design, and it's got this compartment on the top, and this just loads in perfectly. Could not fit any better. But then I also want to point out this fits perfectly in the water bottle pocket on the side of the pouch as well, right? And I actually have two of those, so I could load one up on each side. So what I want to convey here is just somebody who likes tech in general and a high quality product. These are already some of my favorite gadgets of the year, and we haven't even gotten to all the different ins and outs yet. So these sound very satisfying, they're nice and portable, and you know what else is portable? Knowledge. You can take it with you wherever you go, which leads me to the fact that my courses are 50% off right now because I'm still celebrating WWDC. If you wanna upgrade your productivity skills, you can check out Learning to Be Productive, which will help you get more done in less time in the Apple ecosystem, whether you're on the go or whether you're just in the off. All right, now I wanna talk a little bit about this design here. The design, honestly, is really cool. Part of what I love is that they tilted the grill up a few degrees. So you can see as this sits flat, you have this angle here so that it aims the sound up at your face. And I can tell that that makes a huge difference. That's just a really thoughtful design. Obviously it's iconic, and I think it makes a lot of sense. Not only is it pill shaped, but it's an easy pill to take, right? Take with you. But I really love the silicone that they put around the back here. But I actually would say at the end of the day, it feels like more luxury too. I know typically you might not associate silicone with luxury, but part of it comes down to the metal grill here. Like, this is metal and it feels very high quality. It feels like something that's very expensive. And honestly, for that matter, for the size, it also sounds like something that's pretty expensive too. Now it's flat on the bottom, you got some feet here, so you're not gonna scuff up either the speaker or your surface. And then of course, we've got some buttons up here. We got this power button, which obviously you can hold to turn on or off, but if you double press, it's gonna activate your assistant. So you're gonna be able to interact with Siri on the iPhone side of things, or if you're using an Android, the Android assistant, because that is one thing about the Beats products is that they're interoperable. Doesn't matter if you're Android or iOS, you're gonna be able to use it, although it is one tap pairing on the iPhone. You get some extra conveniences on the Apple side. Now the center button there lets you control your tracks. So one press to play or pause, double press it if you want to skip, 3 presses if you want to go back. And then you got the volume buttons over on the right and they're indented. So if you're reaching and it's like nighttime, you got this on the nightstand, let's say, then you'll be able to tell where those buttons are. One thing I just want to note about the sound is I listened to some acoustic music with this, and it was like I could feel every strum of the guitar, not only in my hands, but it was like in the air. So this isn't just for hip hop, it's not just for any sort of music. If your thing is acoustic or classical or Tokyo pop or whatever it is, I mean, all of that sounds really good here and in different ways. Now, it's not all about the sound, even though it is, because I mean, it's a speaker. If it didn't sound good, then it would be pointless. But there's some other really cool features here that really set this apart from other portable speakers. Now, one of those is that this is a speakerphone. So if you do set this up, let's say on your desk, and you keep it charging there before you're gonna take it with you somewhere, well, yeah, you can take calls here and really the quality is better than you would expect as well. I mean, this is so convenient. You could take this out, I'm thinking about at the deck or maybe poolside or whatever, and have that conversation, right, in the backyard, which leads me to the battery life, how much fun you can get out of this before it's time to recharge. So we have this USB-C in the back, and get this, once this is fully charged, you're looking at up to 24 hours of continuous playback. Now, obviously, you're not gonna use that all in one shot. That's a lot of charge. But if you don't wanna have to charge it up in between every single outing, I mean, that's awesome. But here's the other thing I love about it. It's a big battery. So you can plug this into your iPhone or maybe to your AirPods case if you have the latest AirPods case and actually charge up some of your other smaller devices as well. It's almost to the point where it's like, well, what can't this thing do? Something else that it can do is it can charge very quickly. So if you plug into this and charge it for just 10 minutes, you get the fast fuel feature of getting 2 hours of juice out of that. The fast fuel actually matters. I don't care what device it is, but you have something in mind, you're gonna go do something, you're gonna go hiking or whatever it is, and you forget to charge stuff and it's the worst. But 10 minutes isn't really gonna set you back almost at all. Now, I mentioned that these can be paired. And what's good about that is, yes, it gets louder. You can amplify whatever you're listening to, really 2x the loudness. But aside from that, you can split these up so that each one has a dedicated left and right channel for true stereo sound. So I'm thinking about some of the other portable speakers that are out on the market, and they really just concentrate on one thing. It's like this does so much more than most speakers, especially when they end up forming their own ecosystem, basically. And then when they're both paired together, the same button will control both. So you can play and pause both of them when they're paired. You can adjust the volume for both when they're paired. I know the red one is the one that's getting all the attention, but the black looks great too. If you want something that just kind of fades off into the surroundings, doesn't really stick out, then this is really such a nice looking option. Like the red is cool too. It's super attention getting, and maybe that's what you want. You want a couple of these to pop in whatever room you're gonna set those up in. But I feel like these have so many extras beyond just being really nice looking, really nice sounding portable speakers. Stereo pairing, charge your iPhone, use it as a speakerphone. But I forgot to tell you about one of the best things. Let's say you wanna listen to lossless audio. You can actually plug this in to, let's say, your laptop or any other compatible source and get high resolution lossless sound out of this. On top of that, it's IP67 water and dust resistant. That makes sense because if you're gonna take this outside anywhere, it doesn't have to just be by the pool, right? Maybe it's gonna get rained on and you got it on a carabiner clipped to the backpack or something. You need it to be a little bit rugged. It's not so rugged that that's the main feature here, that this is a rugged speaker, but it's just kind of rugged enough, I think, for most people and the adventures that they're gonna go on, maybe just through the city or hiking or just or like I said, kind of just back on the deck or anything like that. And that leads us to the main question here. Is this new Beats Pill worth $149? Well, let's talk about some ways that we can slice this. If you're talking about sound, and you're in the Apple ecosystem, which is where I'm living at the moment, then your options are like something like the HomePods, which aren't portable, and these are. I already told you, this sounds so much better than the smaller HomePod, so it's not even a question there. And I think for a lot of people who aren't like living and breathing sound equipment, this will give a run for the money for something like the bigger HomePod. Now, is the bigger HomePod actually technically better? Well, of course, I mean, it's physics, it's a bigger system. That said, you are gonna miss out on some things. There's no Hey SIRI on this. You gotta double tap there to activate the assistant. So there's kind of some convenience factor things that play. So here's the thing, I think in my office setting, I'd rather have these than the HomePods. I feel like the bigger HomePods, and I've got HomePods scattered all around the house, look really great and pair really great in the TV room, right? They're awesome for controlling the TV and all that, and I think they look really good in the living room. These look really good on the desk. Stick one in each corner, or maybe over on the sideboard. I got a console over there because I just like that slimmer profile. And by the way, this lanyard is removable, so if you don't want that on there, you don't have to have it on there if you're just gonna keep it at your desk. Because due to the slimness, this could fit right under your monitor, something like the studio display like I've got going on. And again, because of that angle there, it's gonna be aimed right up at my face. So I guess what I'm saying is, in my view, if this is in the budget, these are definitely worth it. I really like these. Some of my favorite tech all year. So let me know if you have any questions, try to get those answered for you. Check out the courses. They're on sale right now. You can really upgrade your life, whether you're on the go or you're gonna be parked at the cubicle or in the home office. If you're new around here, get subscribed. We talk about all kinds of things, not just hardware, but also apps and tips and all that stuff too, especially if you're an Apple fan. And I think that's really it. So I'll catch you in the next video. Later.